So this is from the Sichas of Shabbos, Parshas Vayechi, and Asara B'Tevis that it should be transformed into Simcha. Siyum v'choisem Sefer Bereshis, a siyum and a choisem and like a signature on Sefer Bereshis, Sefer Rishon Shabbatera, the first Sefer of Torah, Shalachrizim Achrizim, and afterwards we proclaim Chazak, Chazak, no? Ay, ay, ay.
On page 228, it should say in small letters, page 228.
Okay, I think this is it. Yeah. Parshas Vayechi is Siyum v'choisem Sefer Rishon. Parshas Vayechi is the ending and the signature on Sefer Rishon. Gam b'mayla v'chshivas. Also in its greatness, the Chamisha Chumshei Torah Sefer Bereshis, it's the first, also in its greatness, of the 5 books of Torah. Sefer Bereshis Hanikra Sefer Yashan. It's also called Gam Lashon Roish. Bereshis is from the word Roish, head, and it's also called Sefer Hayashar, the book of the straight, like the direct path. Sefer Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Shenikru Yisharim. Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they didn't deviate. They're Yisharim. They went directly straightforward. Ma'isa Avisim Labanim, and the lessons of our fathers is a sign for the children. This is a lesson for the sons. Did I overgo my time?
Go. By the time you started the actual sikha, go ahead.
So this is a lesson for the service of the children of Yidden, the children of Israel. And as we start off the next sefer with Ve'ela, and these are the names of the children of Israel. So it's drawn down into the next 4 Sfarim, and all 24 Sfarim of Kodesh, the Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, Adl Divrei Hayom, Divrei Yemei Bnei Yisrael, Sefer Kol Torahs. So basically, Sefer Bereshis sets the tone. It's that for the rest of all of history of the Jewish people. So the Rebbe is basically saying that from Sefer Bereshis, which is also from the word head, and in it we have the Avis, and the Avis were called Yesharim. They're the direct path. They didn't deviate, and taking from Bereshis is drawn down all the following books of Torah, including all the 24 books of Torah, including all the stories of all the righteous, all the Jewish people until today. The life lessons that continue to be lived throughout time all starts with Bereshis.
Rabbi Yisrael.
Okay, Mudgash Bishma ובתוכנה של הפרשה, שבו מסיימים וחסמים ספר ראשון שבתורה. So it's actually accentuated in its name and in the contents of the parsha, with which we complete the whole first sefer in Torah. We see this idea in there. Shema parsha Vayechi Yaakov. The name of the parsha Vayechi Yaakov. Since Yaakov is considered the chosen one, the selected one from the Avos, so the whole story of Yaakov's life, they constitute the sum total of the whole Sefer Bereshis, Sefer HaYashar, Sefer Avram Yitzchak Yaakov. And through Yaakov, all of these things come down to the rest of us, the Yidden. And it's in a way of direct, straight, like it says in the pasuk, Yasher. Directly they will see his face. Until we all get this idea of Vayechi Yaakov.
Okay. My throat is way too dry. I'm going to have to get a lachaim. I'm also trying to understand what's going on here. We're saying how Bereshis is special, and we're finishing out. It's the first one. It's the head, Maisa Avos, and it's speaking about Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, which is, and it's are called Yesharim, and myself is Shem Abanim, and then we say that it shows on the children, which starts off right Bnei Yisrael, Eilish Mois Bnei Yisrael. It's when he's talking about the children. Then all the Sfarim after that until now, until the end of all generations, all good stuff. That's what it's talking about. Okay. And then what do we say? Then we say something about the last parsha that it starts off that it's called Vayechi Yaakov. Since Yaakov was he was the chosen of the Avis. So the culmination, the kind of I don't know how to say it. Okay, I'm gonna go get Lachem. Shalom, go ahead.
Hi, how are you guys? It's good to see you, Yisrael. It's always nice once a week to see your face. Isaac. Yeah, I'm just gonna listen for now, cause yeah.
So first of all, Chaim, Rabbi Isaac, Chaim, Rachel. I want to comment on the idea of Yasher, that the Yasher means straight, a straight path. The Rebbe's koching in the straight path. Like, to me, it seems like not to deviate in the desert for 40 years, unnecessarily. Taking a parsha, Birchas Yaakov Levonov, and the lesson of the parsha, the blessing of Yaakov to his children, with Nezeg and Berchos of Yosef, and before that blessing, the grandchildren of Ephraim and Menashe, Keruvim and Shimon Yuli, that Ephraim and Menashe will be like Reuven and Shimon to me. Hamshachas bracha miloshan hamshacha. The idea of a bracha is to draw down. To draw down the concept of Yaakov to all of his children. Yud beishvatim sheklum kol bnei Yisrael ad seif kaderes. That in it is included all the Yidden throughout all the generations. So Yaakov is taking in this Vayechi, he's drawing down into the Jewish people this idea of Yasher, a direct path that is in the Sefer of Bereshit. I have some time. So L'chaim L'vracha, if I can, like Rabbi Isaac highlighted, he said Tzvi likes to give brachas. So L'chaim L'vracha, that we should tap into this Yasher that Yaakov is giving to us, and we should continue in a direct path without deviating in all areas of good to achieve whatever good there is without needing to do unnecessary turns and returns and unturns and do turns, so straight to Mashiach.
My turn, I guess. Are we holding by Ubelashon Chazal Yaakov Avinu Leimes that Ma Zari B'Chaim Avhu B'Chaim Shechaye Yaakov Im Chaim Nitzchim Al Yidei Zeh Shenimshachim Eitzel Zari V'Zera Zari Ad Seif Kol Aderis. Yaakov Avinu did not die. Same way that his descendants are alive. That makes that he is alive. That Yaakov's life is an eternal life through that it continues by his descendants and the descendants of his descendants until the rest of the days, until the rest of the generations. The fact that Zari B'Chaim, Chaim Amitiyim Al Yidei Limud V'Kim Torah, that we are truly alive through learning Torah. We have another guest with us today. Say hi. Chaim Amitiyim Al Yidei Limud V'Kim Torah, Chayenu V'Eirech Yameinu, Inyonei Shel Yaakov. The idea of Yaakov, which is that we are steadfast holding to the Torah mitzvahs. I also remember a random Rashi somewhere in Tehillim or something. I don't remember. Someone showed me once, where I think Rashi literally says about Yaakov Avinu lo mes that there's a medrash or something that Yaakov is walking around in the world without clothing, apparently, or something, and he's looking at what's happening with the Yid until today.
Okay, so this is something. Thank you very much. And I don't know why we're not giving a minute and a half to a new daughter. She's Kanai tiny. My gosh, babies. This is the best chinuch you can ever give. Amazing. I mean, she's probably not tiny. I'm just saying, like, she's a baby. I don't know. Baruch Hashem, to actually bring Mashiach. This idea of ma zari b'chaim afhu b'chaim. So I don't get it. Like, why is that the case? Why? Because zari b'chaim afhu b'chaim. I'm saying, like, many people that their children are alive and they're not alive anymore. Yeah, there's a legacy, there's a name, there's a message, yes, that is true. But why are we saying that they're alive? So obviously there's something deeper. And to maybe start us off on the answer, obviously we're speaking about it here, that means the life of Torah and mitzvahs. I think it needs to talk to me. Right now my body is just rejecting it. It needs to listen a little bit. Okay, Shalom.
Well, we don't really know what life is. Like who is a person? We don't really even have a clear definition of that. And I think that this offers a very good explanation of that, that there's the life that we give to the world that we put in here that's lasting, that influences the future generations, whatever, like what this world is going to become, is the real life that we have. All right, I don't have anything past that. Pass. Svi.
So what I want to say just on the Rabbi Isaac, I think that when you see like the way I talk like Rabbi Mordechai sometimes, or you see like the concepts like, oh, this isn't Tzvi, this is, this is someone else talking. It's like Afhu B'chaim, you know what I'm saying? Like you're bringing certain, like Yaakov could clearly point at certain things that we do and say, oh, that's me. I started that, whether it was the Mezainis before davening or whatever it is. Afhu B'chaim, that's his thing, and it's happening, and it's still him. Just a thought. But we see him Kriyas Parshas Vayechi, and when we finish off Parshas Vayechi, and we finish off the first Sefer of Torah, Machrizim Chazak Chazak V'Nischazik, we call out strong, and be strengthened, as in the Minig Yisrael. That this concept of Vayechi Yaakov, it strengthens the Yidden throughout all generations. As it's known, Parshas Torah, Sheikhim Yimyuchim Lazman Shebekurim Parshas
No.
Okay, but I think that I'll pass.
Should I go, or should we let Rabbi Bornstein have a turn before me, after me?
Go ahead. You'll be right after me. Menachem, you'll be after me. Go ahead.
All right, good. So just a little 2 cents on the topic, on the question of Mazare B'chaim Afu B'chaim. Obviously, with trying to be sensitive and avoid any of the Yeduadike controversy about what we're dealing with our current generation. Derech Agav, we're trying to do some activities in the direction of trying to help bring Achdus back to Yidden and getting past our differences and Noga Kovetz Zebazeh. But interestingly, I think a very known common ground that all of Hasidim in our generation, I think, actually do have, and Halavai, we focus on the common ground that we all have more than the parts which we disagree in and have arguments about, is, I think, at some level, everyone, absolutely everyone, is aware and knows and agrees that right now, who is leading, who is driving Lubavitch, there's no question by anyone that we have to. It expresses itself that no one ever has the Hava Amina that we're looking for some sort of other successor, Chas v'Shalom, or anything like. Everyone knows it's Golev Yadua to everyone at the Rebbe Firt. Other kinds of specifics, people still have differences of opinion about, but I think more than ever, us now in this generation, we have a pretty cool, interesting, strong idea of what Mazare B'chaim Afu B'chaim means. when you just see the story of how we're still running and why we're still running, the Rebbe is with us. Mazare b'chaim, afu b'chaim.
So first of all, thank you everybody, and welcome Menachem. Reb Menachem, it's good to see you. I'm just not so satisfied with it because, like I said, let's call it a mission statement. Let's call it a legacy. Let's call it all this other kind of stuff. I mean, anybody else, you don't say that. You don't say because whatever it is, therefore he's alive. We don't say that for anybody else. So there's obviously, I think that there's really more to it, and I think Shalom was kind of, getting a little bit onto that the train that I'm looking for at least, is that, what do we define as life? Like you could see a little Lepler story. She's like, what, right? The Rebbe says, what kind of chutzpah is that? Because someone's giving you a bracha, giving you a gift. You don't start making conditions. Well, but why did he say that? He said it because it's simply not considered life. For him, just the idea of being, breathing and walking around is not considered life. And therefore, it's not a gift. It's simply not a gift. Like the Rebbe delves in this. It says because his life is stands for something else. So I'm kind of heading in that direction, looking for something. Menachem, please go ahead.
Which ice are we holding?
We're the paragraph right before Ois Beis.
על פי הידוע, שפרשת התורה שייכת במיוחד להסבר שבקרב פרשת אלה. יש לבאר את הקשר והשייכת לפרשת ויחי, סיום ספר בראשית שבתורה, ספר היושר, שבהבא נסכח בחיזוק להביא את בני ישראל בכל הדרך. לעשרה בטבת, בפרט בקריאה של הזו שעשרה בטבת כל ביום השלישי בפרשת ויחי. That the Rebbe doesn't bring it here, but Mechwal Shamos writes that the Parshas of the week have a shaykhus to the Mayadim of the. Actually, the Rebbe does bring it here in Torah 21. Does have a shaykhus to the Parshas of the week, and Frat sort of the Tavis that it falls this year on Tuesday. And it also has a shaykhus in the parsha. The Yemer Shabbos Chedesh Parshas Vayechi, Shebeinasa, Ilu, Vashlemus, Vayichulu, Asara B'Tevis, who b'yem Yudal B'Tevis, Erev Askolas Tezvov Tevis, Shemaskal B'Mincho Shabbos, Shebei Kairasira to Chedesh Tevis Vashlemusa, Chil B'Yuchat Hashlemus, Asara B'Tevis, like we're going to say further. B'Chwal Shabbos is the Vayichulu, B'Chwal Shabbos is the completion of the week. So the Mela Asara B'Tevis is Nichwal in the Shabbos of this week, which has a connection to the Parsha of this week. The Mela Asara B'Tevis has a connection to Parshas Vayechi. But what's this thing about Mincha here? 1 second. The Rebbe says here, the Muchach Mizeh She'ein Eimrim Tzchos Chatzelik B'Mincha Shabbos Shehu Erev Yom She'ein Eimrim B'Beit Tachron. Shehu Erev Yom She'ein Eimrim B'Beit Tachron. So we see even more connection, even though there's already Erev in every single instance, right? But over here we see that you don't say Tachron on Mincha Shabbos. But Mela, you see that it has already connection to the next day. So even though in this case it's not applicable, because in this case on Tezvot, on the on Yudala Tavis, Erev Tezvot Tavis, we would say Tachron. But if it would be a day we wouldn't say Tachron, then you wouldn't say Tachron by Mincha. So the mainly you see, the Shabbos Mincha has a connection to the following week.
Thank you, Menachem. Shalom, go ahead.
Menachem, my name is Shalom. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so it's funny, like you were saying, the story about Rabbi Kasil Epler. That's like the most famous story from his, like the most famous anecdote from his life. That's like the life he gives through that little like life lesson. Yeah, pass. See.
Tzvi.
Base. Vahektim Beirin in Miyuchat Shel Asar B'Tevis. We're going to get into what is special about Asar B'Tevis. Asar B'Tevis, on the 10th of Tevis, Echad Midal, that same is Shech Yuv Midivisev, one of the four fasts. One of the four fasts that the rabbis established. There's a stringency that is only in this fast. It's even more strict in this way than Tisha B'Av. That is the night is considered like the day. You know about the lake of Sharat Samish with the Same Shem Rak B'Yim the Yom Kippur so there's a stringency even on Tisha B'Av, which Tisha B'Av is like similar to Yom Kippur. Shafilo Chodesh Shabbos, that by Asar B'Tevis, even on Shabbos, Mizman Shayim Mekachim Apir in a time when they would establish the new month based on the witnesses. And this continued for many years after the destruction of the temple. Based in some they couldn't push off Asar B'Tevis because there's a verse on Asar B'Tevis that says the essence of this day can maybe Yom Kippurim, just like Yom Kippur. So Asar B'Tevis pushes Shabbos.
Rabbi Yisrael. Rabbi Yossi, I'll go after Yisrael. If you give him a minute. Yisrael Goldstein, go ahead. Okay, looks like he's frozen. Okay, Rabbi Yossi, go ahead.
Woo! He asked me when Tzvi was speaking, Avi Piamenta asked me, who is Tzvi Schwartz? Who is Reb Tzvi Schwartz? So, I don't know if Menachem is over here. The other person, I don't know. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom, I see you. Menachem, I don't see you clear the face. I see half a face. Oh, very nice. All the blessings to you. So, so left. Okay, my name is Yoske Levin, and I have 50 seconds. So, about Moshiach Gula. So I came to the conclusion like this. I think this day and age, this way I understand from the Rebbe, that Moshiach came a long time ago. The Gula was a long time ago. Was done a long time ago. Because if there is God, it was done already. Otherwise, there's no God. The God, what's the difference for God tomorrow or yesterday or the other day? What's the difference? So I think today you have to create God. God basically is a creator. So basically, I want to speak like this. Thank you for being over here. You are creating the Gula. That's it. Mashiach now.
Mashiach now. Anybody else by you wants to say something? Mashiach Gula?
Yeah, Mashiach Gula. תגיד משהו. Shalom.
Maybe. Allowed.
Speaks.
One of the things, how are you? My name is Avi Piamenta. I think that this is how you start the talking. If Yoske had to present himself, so anyone has to do it. So we know that when Baal Shem Tov came to the chamber of Mashiach, so he asked him, when are you coming? He said, when your well springs will spread till the lowest places, out of outside. And he didn't say when your Hasidut, when your Mayanot, when your well springs. It means that you don't spread only Hasidut, you spread the source, the Mayan itself. So each of you is to become a Mayan on his own. It's not that you are receiving information and you are bringing it out. You are becoming the source. So what Yoske said, that yes, you are creating the Geula. The whole world was created for each of you, each of us, and we are now. I am the only person that the whole universe was created for. I am in control and I can make the whole difference for everybody. As Be'ezrat Hashem, did a Notzach and Yechi Melech.
Amen. There's one more chassid. It looks like that there wants to say something. No.
He's from Lamed Vovnik.
A lamed vav or a lamed vav? Lamed vav.
Listen to me. Not everybody has a schus. Okay, I'm starting to drive. You're gonna see over here. Okay.
Okay, so I'm putting you on mute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So thank you very much. That was powerful, Rabbi Yaska and Avi. What a pleasure. What an honor. And I was actually in the middle of asking this. What does it mean? Where did we go? Ma zar b'chaim, ma phu b'chaim. And there's a little thing in this week's parsha that speaks about it that we just had a little bit of a discussion about, where it says that Yaakov considered Yosef's children as one of his own children. Why? You praise them and love them. He's not your children. He says, no, he considered them his children because, why? Because they were following in his ways. They embodied whatever he lived for, whatever he, his mission statement, his life, whatever, his life. So maybe we could go something on that aspect, which there's, Baruch Hashem, a lot of amazing things being said here. But, Avi just said that that means that I have to actually spread the source. The Mayan has to be spread, not just the water that comes out of it. That's amazing. Okay, Menachem, go ahead. Your turn.
Space.
You're up.
Space.
Hold on, it's Vayechi Loimar. How's Barnabas there?
Where's that? Hold on. Where's this?
It's one after ice space.
Page 230, 230.
Oh. Yeah, Shleimer has Barnabas. Oh, because I'm looking in the Pianoch. That's why I have little different pages. Yeah, Shleimer has Barnabas. Down at Samus, Nikwu, Miguel, Down, Murray, Sakshurim, Makurbin, Shiru, Bamshik, the four fasts of Shivas Matamas, Sarah Batavis, Shem Gedalia, and Tishabot. Are connected with the Churban of things that happened to Hemshik for one another. I'll say that Murray, Sarah Batavis, Samach Malach Babel, Yerushalayim, the Hidiyat Motzer, that Asara Batavis, the Buchanetzar Rosh surrounded Yerushalayim, and he brought it to a siege. Shivas Batamas Rukka Yerushalayim broke through the wall. Tishabov Charav Habayis, Benishain of Hashliach, Tishabov, the Beis Hamikdash, the first and second Beis Hamikdash was destroyed. Shlishi Patishnei, Nana Gedalia Ben Achikam, the Chebes Kechelis Yisrael and Hashem Skulu, and the coals of the Jews that were left in Eretz Yisrael went out. So this is the Chwalos, the four fasts, which are for the Churban that happened to them. Who's going next paragraph? Me? Okay. The keyword to Asara B'Tevis.
That's it. If you want, if you want to say something, say. But you have 5 seconds.
Oh. Stop. What he said about my Nesecha. The Rebbe took this to a whole level of the Ralph the base Bechwal, whether every ever or not.
Menachem, we're going with the timer. We're going with the timer. Well, at least we're trying to.
Okay, so I'll leave it
timer?
for later. What?
So we're
Yes,
taking
please.
my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sure.
I don't need a turn. You could have it. I know we don't do that, but all right. Yeah, let's see. Go ahead.
I want to hear from Menachem. Please don't forget. What is the Mayonis Chutza? Kimish Basar B'Tevis Hoisa Schola. Since the 10th of Tevis was the beginning of the Churban, Vaschola Yesh Tikiv God Yesh the Gabi Hamshech. And from the beginning of is something more difficult than the following suffering. Sometimes the start of the suffering is even worse than the end. Is different. There's a certain stringency than even the following and even the end of the destruction. So I'm gonna pass.
Rabbi Sterling, maybe we can hear your beautiful voice now.
All right, let me try. ומזה מובן גם בנגיע לעניין הטוב שבצומס. So this will understand also about the good that the fasts are about. שהעשרה בטבס הוא הסחולה והפסיכה לעניין הטוב שבכל הצומס כדלקמן. Oh, of course, the Rebbe takes something like a fast and turns it on its head entirely. Asara b'teves was the beginning of a bunch of other tragic fasts. Well, you know what? It means that Asara b'teves is the beginning and the opening of a whole series of goods that come out in the rest of the fast as well. So the strength about it is much more potent at this opening occasion, as it is by the rest of the fast. Asar b'tevis is even greater than the happy part of Tisha B'Av, which is that Mashiach was born. Like, what could be higher than that? But Asar b'tevis apparently is even higher than that. As Chalas HaGeula, the beginning of the Geula, was by Tisha B'Av, and Asar b'tevis is even more than that. As with every beginning of a new thing in Kedusha, that it's with a particular force and strength. Like this beginning of this sequence of happy transforming of a fast day into something happy. Asara b'tevis has a very strong.
Okay, so sorry for being the one that needs to get out of Gullah still. I mean, Yaska totally tripped me out. That's the truth. Speaking of, and he's telling me how everything's done already. I'm like, what do you mean everything's done? So yeah, of course the Rebbe said everything's done already. He says, no. I said Mashiach now. He's like, yeah, it is already. It happened. I'm like, so okay, but I don't feel it. He's like, what do you mean you don't have to feel it? It's a reality. It's a fact. Mashiach's here. Anyways, I don't really know what to do with it. I'm still working on my way around it. So you don't have to work on it. It's here already. Okay. By Tisha B'Av, one of the guys over here got inspired. One of the guys from the Chabad house here in California, and he had a special bottle that he was saving. But he said, "What's saving? It's for now. Shiach's birthday, perfect time. You're gonna show up, all the good stuff." So he opened it, and like, I agree. You know, we all bought the Rebbe birthday cakes. But what's the story? Okay, Menachem.
Ready now?
You have a minute and a half. You can either read or you can speak or you can do both, but just within the time. I'll start over your time.
Okay. Regarding what we said earlier, by the second chutzah, Bechwal and half the base, we find that the Rebbe demands much more of us to be just demands of us to be Manisecha, meaning whether it's a tzaddik, Evan Aleph, whether it's even to be a Rebbe, an Admor, a Shabbat Abba Beis. The Rebbe, especially the Rebbe was preparing us for this Hell of the Hester, that we ourselves, of course, the Mayan is getting from the Mayan. Of course, we're nothing without the Rebbe. But the Rebbe wants us to use our own keiches this time, which is the whole union of Manisecha, continuing to what was previously stated.
That's it, Menachem.
What else? Moshiach now. I mean, should I read?
Moshiach now. You have 30 seconds. If you want to read, go ahead.
Peter India. Gave my Titus to Kosh Hakosov, Yem Roshalash, Washem. Bishop Bavard, Ben Azokin, began some Shuba. Shatzay, my Nitzo, who Yem Rosh, Ace Rosham, and the Gale with the Indian Hachuba. Shayaz of the Vato, Makurban, Mahagolus, Review Magula, 80 from the gold element Chuba. Kvaraticha, Taylor, should say, Israel, that's the Chuba, we have to go. Gave my Titus is a Yem Rosham Hashem, the way Exodus looks at it. It's not like a just painy day that you don't eat. And so true, but again, you know, Tshuva, that through that, the whole purpose of the Titus is the Mahat, no Golos, through Tshuva, as the Yid will do in the end of Golos.
Oh, yeah. Shalom, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Mashiach is here, that explains why it's not, the question isn't about what I need to do, because I know what I need to do. Everyone knows what they need to do. That's why everyone's, right? Yaska likes speaking about the mentally ill people. Everyone knows what needs to be done. It just needs to be done, and that's it. Pass. See.
I don't know. I may be mentally ill. I don't know what needs to be done. Forgive me. And this concept, the purpose of the fast, which is to bring about tshuva, that it nullifies the destruction and the exile and brings the gula mudgish this concept of what a fast really is more emphasized when it comes to the Asara B'Tevis than any other fast. When Mel Bava surrounded Yerushalayim and he brought about a siege, it didn't affect Yerushalayim itself. The homes, he didn't yet touch the base of Mikdash. He didn't even affect the wall surrounding Medina, protecting Yerushalayim. The wall was complete, and the king of Bava was outside of the in contrast to the other times, should be Glau Nikvu Shat Semis. So the Rebbe is saying that Asara B'Tevis is a day which Yerushalayim is complete in all of its aspects, in homes, in the base of Mikdash, and in walls, and Melech Bavel is outside.
It's amazing how the Rebbe teaches us to look so positively on everything. You know, a fast day, a sad day, a day of tragedies. Well, guess what? You're forgetting the half of the cup that's full, more than half. The entire Yerushalayim was complete. Every single house was intact. And the Chaymu, everything was just fine. And the Stam will build even more from there, that it was I don't know, something holy and something great, and from there the Gula can come, etc., etc. We'll see probably about it. Also, I just wanted to mention quickly, Reb Sholem, you don't speak a lot, Reb Sholem, but when you open your holy mouth, wow, you mamash say some really powerful stuff. Amazing. So far, been really enjoying it. Your thoughts on Mazar B'Chaim and what you just told, amazing. Yeah, really gold, silver, and diamonds to share with us. Because there was the potential, and that up to a point where they actually encircled Yerushalayim, and there was no going out and coming in. And there was some problems with bringing food into the city. So for that reason, it became something not desirable. Ad Lekvius Tainis until they established it as a fast. But that's the reason why. That's like the smaller part of the story, probably. The bigger part was probably positive.
Wow, good stuff. So I saw one of the kids' Mahor videos and where the Rebbe said basically that it was pretty much an opportunity. Hashem gave you an opportunity, and he was hoping that they would, because they were in such a confined, space, they were locked inside a city. They hoped that they would unify. You have opportunity. Everybody's right here. Everybody's together. You have opportunity. You're to be united. That was the whole thing. Was I guess it could have turned around. I know the Rebbe is not into the coulda, shoulda, woulda, but obviously taking a lesson. I guess that's what we have to realize, that we're in that opportunity. I guess about placing this reality and really living it. It's unfortunate, but I find a lot of things that I'm trying to imbue in my children, and and I'm lacking that. I'm telling you, like, don't be afraid of the dog. Only be afraid of Hashem. It's only yours, Hashem. That's it. And I'm like, I don't even invite him myself. I'm afraid of the dog. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I gotta live it. Menachem, please.
The Kavanah be'ula zeh, Motzer al Yerushalayim, aber Motzer bavad, bלי livgaya of Yerushalayim, Atzma, Filu loy b'achem Yerushalayim, it's a gdei la'oder, b'nei Yisrael, lashu b'tshuva miyat, so days is battle on Indian, built to Yerushalayim b'tchilasi, b'beila l'yavi b'zeh, have shkamaroi, it's built to the truth, achur b'agobus. The point was not, the Abish is not out here to punish us. He's not some evil dictator out to get us. Rather, his thing was that the Abishna wanted us to do tshuva. And through this, the whole churban wouldn't have happened. That was the entire purpose of why the Melech bubble came onto Yerushalayim. Not in order to destroy it, but rather to order us to do tshuva.
No, Menachem, what do you say about that?
I don't know what there is to say more. I mean, it's the basically whatever the Rebbe always takes everything not positive, so to speak, and says there's a purpose about it. So if David should put us in such a situation, wherever we might find ourselves in life, especially now, this time we can't see the Rebbe, then obviously there's a purpose to it. David should not have to get us, but rather to reveal the inner aspect of it, to bring us to a higher potential than we were before.
Beautiful. That's pretty good for not knowing what to say. Shalom, go ahead, please.
Vishal, thank you for the kind words. That's the reason why I say things, because I know it has some power. Yeah, and I think the way we should look at it, or the way I should look at it, is that if there's a case where I feel like I didn't do my best in the past, since I can't change it, I still have the knowledge of that, and the whole. I'm saying since every second is a struggle, it doesn't get easier just because I went through that experience. So I can always use it for the next experience and then build on that. Yeah, that's why we would bring up the past, I think. Pass.
So Chaim Uvracha, Moshiach right now. The Nimtza comes out, you find Asara Tavis in the tent of Davis, Mudgash Eis Ratzin, it's emphasized that it's a desirable time. When it comes to doing Teshuvah, which nullifies the destruction and brings about the Geula Yosem Shar Tainis more than any other fasting. Since there was no destruction, since Yerushalayim stayed whole, even the walls. It was just the exact instigator to instigate tshuva. This would actually save the Beis Hamikdash and Yerushalayim. So I find with my kids often in the bath, you put them in and they start squirming and then they get hurt and then they blame it on you and you're like, this was not my intention. So I think even this was a bad call. Like surrounding Jerusalem, whatever. I'm not really seeing it. Like you can go to sleep with a little bit of dirt, it's okay. No one's gonna. Right?
So you're the Rabbi Israel.
Okay, sorry about that. Still have some connection things. Okay, so okay, so let me, I guess, just go on a little bit with Eis Daled. As we were discussing that we should try to spend more time on this and maybe even try to go through a full sikha, whatever. So let's try to go through a little bit more. Daled. The unique thing about Asara B'Tevis. The idea of the beginning of the chain of events that brought to the Churban, although no actual Churban happened then, and also the beginning of rebuilding of everything. מצינו בנבואת יחזקאל, ואת תוקח לך מחבס ברזל, ונסעת איסו קיר ברזל, בינך ובין העיר גמר, והיסו במוצר גמר, אייסי לבית ישראל, שכך טוב ירושלים במוצר. Apparently there was a nevuah with Yechezkel, with something about taking a piece of metal or something, and putting it in a wall, and it was some sort of symbol about the upcoming siege that was going to happen on Yerushalayim. So that was, yeah, okay, fine.
So, Rabbi Yisrael, Baruch Hashem and Moshiach's groups have been quite busy, and wasn't able to really catch up and keep up with everything. But I know that there's a new going viral idea of taking videos and speaking about Mashiach. So I actually, not of myself, but I do have a few that I just need to edit slightly with the students in my class. I spoke to you about it. I mentioned this idea before that I get students in my class doing videos about Mashiach. One, I don't know if I actually got it on video, but it was a discussion because one of the guys, for some reason, is walking around all day going. So I'm like, okay. So I was mentioning to him that it's very crazy because they have these things. It's really amazing now, where basically they had for years. There's an old invention that's a one tank shell. Right, they put it in a one tank shell, and it can literally shoot through like an army of soldiers. It opens up to like I don't know how wide, like really wide, and these bullets go through like 20, 30 people, and it can mamish take out like 100 people at once. And now they have the same exact things and like these guns that basically just plant seeds. You shoot it and it plants hundreds of seeds, like an entire forest at once. I thought of sharing that one with you. Menachem, please go ahead.
I'll pass it on. No. But Mashiach now.
My honest. I don't know if we should let you pass. Unless you insist.
I insist, please. Something
Okay,
just
Shalom.
spilled. I have to clean it up.
It's okay. Shalom, guy.
Yeah. All right. So I guess the lesson I'm gonna take out of this is that I didn't fully understand everything we were saying. like reading inside, but based off the discussion, I think that I tend to look at the past usually in the negative light, and I usually don't realize that since like even all the bad things that did happen, beyond that, there's a lot of good that happened. I change, and realizing that I have a power, like we were saying, that I'm getting the Rebbe's power. I'm not just a messenger, and I should see that power, and I should build off whatever I've already built off of, because it's a lot. Every day, I'm building up something new, as long as I put in some effort. So should put more effort into seeing the growth. I think that's important. Pastor, see.
Amen, Reb Shalom, yes. So far what I'm getting from the Sikh, I'm trying to bring it into my reality, is that it's a Sefer HaYashar. It's a straight path. That means no deviating, no 40 years in the desert. And the Rebbe is finding a connection with the Asara B'Tevis that it could have been, I mean, we could have avoided this 2000 gruesome exile if the Jews would have taken that matzah, that siege, seriously, and done what they had to do. And what the Rebbe is saying is that Asara B'Tevis has a certain potential to avoid catastrophe for thousands of years. Like a kid in the bath, if I could just sit still for a second and just let the cleansing happen, I'll be out of there in a second. So I'm not sure if you could rationalize with a child. I'm not sure if I'm getting it, but I'm willing to watch it happen. I'm willing to get out of this exile right now. Anyway. So the hinting of the exile was through steel, and it's hinting to the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. Ki barzel Muslim Beis Hamikdash. Steel is not allowed in the Beis Hamikdash. Like the verse says, "Bayis bivinosei evan shlema," a home built with full stones. Umukvis v'agarzin complete barzel inishim beis bavinosei, and you should not hear any banging hammers while building.
כיוון ששייך לחורבן בית המקדש, כדאיסא במדרש וזייס התרומה גוימר, זהב וכסף ונחשת, אבל ברזל אין כסיב כאן, לא במשכן ולא במקדש. למה שנמשל בי עדים שהחריבי בית המקדש. So the idea of Barzel apparently is something that is avoided and not desirable in regards to the Beis Hamikdash. The Eibishter asked the Yidden should donate all sorts of other materials except for Barzel. Why? Because it is compared to, or it was ruled over by Edom, which destroyed the Beis Hamikdash. Something like that. I'm not sure. Someone explained that last phrase over there. Tikun lazeh al yidei Barzel de kedusha. Yeah, I guess the Rebbe will explain how now with Barzel, we're actually going to turn it into something positive. I do have to get going at this point, so I want to wish you all Chaim L'chaim, and thank you so much, and it was Geschmack. And let's keep going on and on until we win this Golus war. Shkoyach for the kind words, Reb Isaac. And looking forward to seeing your video clip. Please join in. And everyone here, if we're on video anyway, just send me a clip of some thoughts, some ideas about Moshiach. Let's do this.
What do you mean, Yisrael? You have an hour of clips here. This is pushing an hour of clips. I mean, you could really take it apart and get at least, honestly speaking, a half hour of clips right here from this video. And then you have all the other weeks. But yeah, if I could just stand for my own personal preference, I would from next week start sticking with the same thing until we finish it. Simply because I'm more comfortable with Yiddish, but that's the only reason. Like otherwise, I would just stick with this. I feel like even it's a little bit gullus way of thinking in a way, but it's plans for. No, I'm saying even when Moshiach comes. What do you mean? What are we gonna do? Not even if, when, now, Chaim L'Bracha. There's almost there's only so many times I can be let down. I'm not God. Maybe I am. I don't know. But my patience does not right now relate to God's patience. So I understand He could forgive a million times without any problems. But I don't know how many times I'm going to forgive this. So don't let me down. Bring Mashiach. Send us Mashiach. Make it a reality. If I can't open my eyes, open my eyes for me. What do you want me to do? Okay. Till next week.